what was your life like before we met?
Um, well, I mean, 7 months ago, 7 months ago, I was married for almost 3 years, and 7 months ago, we came to the decision to end it. And, it's probably one of the most difficult things I ever had to deal with in my life. I don't wish it upon anyone. And I mean, prior to that, it was, months of issues with the marriage and things like that. And then I was just kind of thrown back into this world of dating and, meeting women. And basically, I thought I won the game as far as I was concerned for a while. And it just didn't work out. And I just didn't really know what to do.
Mm. So how did you find getting back into the world of dating, and what was that like? What sort of failures did you have along the way?
Um, I kind of had, I mean, with the divorce and everything, obviously that was a big blow to my confidence. And I think, yeah, that made things difficult. I felt like I wasn't good enough, that, anyone that would be interested in me would, probably there was something wrong with them, because obviously there was something wrong with me and they just didn't see it. Um, Things like that. And I mean, a few months of being single, I did date someone, and, we were kind of in a relationship for about a month. And, and then that ended, and it was like, all the extra stuff that I dealt with, that I didn't deal with, once my divorce happened, coupled with this new person also deciding, that this is not, that they didn't want to be with me anymore. All that rolled into one, just really put me in a really bad spot, and just a really negative mindset. And yeah, I just didn't know where to go from there.
Do you mind delving a little bit deeper into how you're feeling at that time? I ask because there's probably guys watching who maybe feel the same way now that you felt then. And then if they could hear exactly what was going on for you, it might, let them realize that there's a way out of their current situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of guilt, that, that maybe it was a matter of, me not working hard enough, or me not, doing what I should have been doing, or something like that, or just, that I didn't work hard enough. I think guilt about approaching women or trying to date other women after my marriage had ended. Feeling like I didn't have permission, that I didn't deserve, I didn't deserve to go out and meet people. I didn't deserve to have a conversation with someone. I didn't deserve to go on a date with someone, or be with someone.
I've got a question. Did you feel like you didn't deserve to have a conversation with someone or date someone because you were like a bad person, or because being sexual with a woman was bad? Like, which one of those was it?
I think both, but I think I think in the beginning, it was certainly, yeah, I felt like I was a bad person and I didn't deserve it. Um, but then as things progressed, and, maybe I had some successes here and there, then yeah, I think I did have a hard time. I think I did have a hard time, feeling like it was okay to be sexual with someone, or
Mm.
to, take initiative, or things like that.
Okay, I hear you. So, when you felt like it was bad for you to be sexual with a woman, how did that sort of affect your relationships with women? So you said that obviously you had the divorce, and then there was that woman who you dated, and she ended it with you. So did you just find yourself in a situation where basically there was like a wall in between you and women that you couldn't actually cross because either they weren't interested in you at all, or maybe they were interested, but then at some point they weren't. Like, do you see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I think it did kind of put a wall up. And it made me, I think it added to being nervous when I was meeting people, when I was going on dates. Um, yeah, it was just like I was holding back, and I feel like I was just kind of putting off that vibe to people where they kind of sensed the nerves and, I guess the um conflict going on kind of in my head.
Uh,
And I feel like I kind of put off that vibe out, and people pick up on that, and then they get tense, and yeah, it just kind of snowballs from there.
well, something from my past is my past is quite similar to yours. Well, except for the fact that I was never married, but be that as it may. There was a time when I couldn't really communicate with women in that kind of way at all. Or like people to a large extent, but like especially women. And one thing that was really painful for me was that I would be with some girl and there's something stopping me from being cool. And I can see that she thinks I'm weird. I can see it. Like she's not comfortable. I can see that she is kind of like this, but I don't know what to do about it. So even though I can tell that what I am doing is really not good and she's not liking it in the least, I still didn't know how to actually change that. And that was really frustrating. Is that something you can relate
Um, yeah, I think so. I found myself, if I did get a date, that sometimes I would just get so nervous that the conversation, it was like I had no control over what was coming out of my mouth. I had no control over the words that I was saying. And I felt like I was in a comedy where, somebody says something ridiculous and then they're just like, I wish I hadn't said that.
to?
And there was like a vision, and it just seemed like there was there would be a distinct change in the dialogue and in just the vibe of the conversation. And yeah, and then I would just get more nervous and say more things that were ridiculous or made no sense, or yeah, and it was just like I was like trapped in that, and I had just like, it was like I had no control over it.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you and I relate to that. Okay. So when we first started communicating then, like what were your initial thoughts then? Say when we had our consultation, what were you thinking then? Were you scared? Were you nervous? Were you excited?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was really nervous.
Mm,
I think it was, I think the hardest part is, just admitting that you need help and seeking and taking the initiative to get help. But I think it was I don't regret it at all. I think it was probably one of the best decisions I ever made. And once we started going and doing the work, it was just, it was just life changing.
mm. Wow. Cheers. Thank you, man. That's a powerful word. Like that hit me in my chest. Jesus. All right. So what would you say? So at some point, actually, firstly, how did you discover me anyway? How did you find me to
Um,
begin with?
on the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
I think it was on the WhatsApp group or on Reddit, was where I found the group.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So me and you, we've had our consultation. You signed up for coaching. You're scared, terrified. Is this gonna work? Does this guy know what he's talking about? Is he gonna run off with my money? That sort of stuff. And then once we've actually started working together, though, what were like some of the big realizations that hit you? Like, oh my gosh, this, oh my gosh, that. Like, what were the big things that you learned as a result?
I think the biggest takeaway from the work that we did was that I had stuff that was holding me back, and I realized that it really wasn't a big deal. Everybody has insecurities. Everybody has things they worry about. And I think the work, it gave me permission to move on and take action to better myself. It helped me put things behind me, put things aside, put the guilt away, things I may have done in the past, and it gave me permission, and it helped me to kind of forgive myself and be okay and comfortable.
What I will say is, when me and you first started working together, you're basically one of my favorite clients. Actually, I've never actually said to see what you are, and reason being is because from the start you've like worked really hard. Like you've really, yeah, it's been very clear and apparent that you've had a goal and you're hell bent on achieving that goal. And the huge progress that you've made is actually a testament to that. Like the people, it doesn't really matter where someone starts. This is what I've noticed from doing this coaching thing for a few years now. Where someone starts is actually irrelevant. It's actually how annoyed they are at their current situation. If they're in a place where they hate their current situation, that's actually what you need, because that's what's going to propel them. If they're like, yeah, I mean, I could become a bit better with women, I suppose, but blah, 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 then actually nothing will happen. And you definitely were like, no, I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. And every time we spoke, you were like, okay, Ciaran, so I did this and I did this and I did this. And you'd have like, let's say mistake after mistake and like bad situations. And they felt bad to you, but to me, I'm like, no, he's actually going out there and he's in the trenches. Like, this is actually very good. Like, like you fail your way to success. And I just want to say it's been really good to actually help you and to watch you. But what I want to ask is then, so as a result of the help and support that I've given you, what changes occurred in your relationships with women as a result?
I definitely feel more of the abundance mentality, and I don't feel like I'm burdening someone by having a conversation with them anymore. I feel like if I want to go talk to someone, it's not a big deal, and if anything, I can make their life, make their day better, make their day, make their night, just add, inject fun into their evening or just their day. And it's okay. I'm allowed to talk to anybody I want to. And there's nothing wrong with that. And it's okay. And the outcome doesn't matter, because I can just take it or leave it. I mean, I can go into, on a first date, I used to be super nervous, sitting in my car, I'd show up like super early because I didn't want to be late. And, I'd be sitting in my car, just, stressing out. And then I would walk in and I'd be trying to calm down and I just couldn't. And now I just go into it and I just say, I'm going to have a fun evening. This beats sitting on my couch for the most part. And I can just go into this and have fun and meet somebody new and see what happens.
All right. There's something you said that was very powerful, which is that you said that you feel like you're not burdening people by talking to them anymore. That's kind of powerful. That means then that in the past, when you spoke to someone, or if you had to think about speaking to someone, you felt like you were a leech that's basically making their life worse. Not hugely worse, but you're not making their life better. You're a burden. You're annoying. You're a nuisance. Go away. Leave me alone. Which is actually a terrible way to see yourself as a person. But a lot of people do. Like I used to think that back in the past as well. But now you actually see yourself as a guy who, when you speak to somebody, it's like, Matt spoke to me. That was great. Like, now my day has been lifted. Now my life is better because I've actually had the experience of this guy. And that's not a small thing that you've actually said. And something I've noticed as well from speaking to you, you didn't actually say this, but I have noticed that you seem to be quote unquote fornicating with women a lot more these days. You do seem to be doing that. And another thing I've noticed as well, you're you've told me two instances recently where you actually turned women down because you weren't, you weren't feeling it basically. And that is definitely, in my opinion, a sign of a abundance mentality, because you wouldn't have done that a few months ago. You wouldn't have done it at all.
I I don't think I ever did that until until we started until we started working together. I
Mm,
think I mean I'm just thinking back at every instance of my life. I mean, very few. I was thinking, I was like, I don't think I've ever broken up with anyone.
mm,
You know, I don't think I ever dated anyone where I was the person who decided that this isn't working, or this isn't what I want. I this should be over. This is not good for me. I was always just stuck in this scarcity mentality where anybody that was going to give me the time of day, I just had to grab onto them and don't let go, because this is my last chance. And now I'm kind of just of the it's I mean, it's refreshing. It's adds less stress to the situation. I just feel that I can go into something and take it or leave it. It's it's okay. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to decide that it's not working out, or that this is not somebody that you want to be with, and there's nothing wrong with that.
oh, amen, brother. Amen. So I think we're at the end of this now, but I just want to say again, thank you very, very, very much for your time. It's funny, you said that you feel like this has been life changing, and I really appreciate that. Like, you have no idea how good that actually feels. It feels brilliantly. So thanks. Um, the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit. If you feel like it's been life changing so far, there's still so much more to come. And with your work ethic and your dedication, I've got absolutely no doubts about what's in store for you. Like, no doubts whatsoever. And it really is actually a pleasure to work with you and help you. It really is.
Thank you. It's been great. I'd recommend it to anybody. I wish I did it sooner.
Oh.
Um, yeah.
All right. Actually, on that topic, so to the guy in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta's in Georgia, right? Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one. Okay, great. Right. My US geography ain't great. Or he's in Singapore, or he's in Korea. He's in Tokyo right now. And he's thinking, huh, should I actually sign up? Should I do this? Should I get coaching from Ciaran? What would you say to him?
Um, first, I'd say do it. I'd say you can bang your head against the wall doing the same things, or trying new things, and you're on your own, and maybe you'll get some progress. But I really don't think it wasn't until we started working together that I really saw a lot of improvement in a really short amount of time. And like I said before, it was life changing. Just do it and invest in yourself, and it's the sky's the limit, like you were saying.
Mm. Actually, oh gosh, whew, gosh, man, that just it just makes me feel so good. Gosh, I can't even like fight it. It's like when you say that life changing, it's like, oh my gosh, like I'm actually having that effect on people. Wow. But yeah, you know what though, to the person who is watching, ultimately you do need to invest in yourself. You have to see you as being an investment, and ultimately, even if the coach isn't actually me, it's like the value that you get from having a coach, someone who's done the things that you want to do, show you how to do it in a quick space of time. It far exceeds what you actually spend. Like, it far exceeds. I mean, for everything, when I look at where I am now and where I used to be, if I was still like that now, I would be willing to pay $50,000 to not be like that easily. Like, to get to where I am, it's easily worth that much, maybe 100,000. To be in that horrible, depressed, insecure, insular, self-hatred spot, like, ugh, yeah, that's getting out of that is worth a crazy amount of money, which is infinitely more than the cost of my coaching or anyone else's anyway. But thank you for your time, Matt. Thank you.
Thank
Have
you.
yourself a lovely day. And
You too.
yeah, bye bye to the person who's watching.